guys, welcome. Yes, I'm still recording at home. We are doing lesson 10 for phonics. So let me get my screen shared with you. Okay, let me get all these things taken care of and then we can get busy. All right, so we are doing Unit 3, Lesson 10, so let's get busy. Our learning targets today, I can complete my spelling assessment. So today's spelling test day. I can chain words with the owl spelling, and I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story, The Dog and the Mule. So today's our spelling test. When we take this test, I am going to read a word aloud, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence. I will give you time to write each word. And at the end, I will go back through the list and read each spelling word one more time. So let's review our list. This week's spelling words, we have the word frog, moth, quote, spoon, tooth, wood, took, they. All right. Hold on 1 second, friends. Let me. All right, guys, let me go back to sharing my screen with you. Sorry about that. Had to take that. All right, so this week's spelling words. Let me go over them again one more time. All right, we've got frog and moth, quote, spoon, tooth, wood, took, and they. So do your best on the spelling test, okay? All right, so you should have your sheet. It's 10.1 and it looks like this right here, okay? Number 1 to 8, all right? Number 1 to 8, okay? All right, so I'm going to take us back to, I'm going to take us back to that screen again, okay? So here we go. Number 1, the first word is why. Why? Why is it raining outside? Why? Number 2, tooth. I have a loose tooth. Tooth. Number 3, frog. Frog. There is a big frog on my porch. Frog. Number 4, quote. Quote. Can you quote Romeo and Juliet? Quote. Number 5, wood. Wood. I need a piece of wood for my house. Wood. Number 6, moth. Moth. That moth ate a hole in my sweater. Moth. Number 7, spoon. Spoon. I ate my soup with a spoon. Spoon. Number 8, took. Took. I took a shower this morning. Took. All right, So I'm going to go back over the words again. That way you make sure you have them written down on the correct numbers. So number 1 is Y. Number 2 is tooth. Number 3, frog. Number 4, quote. Number 5, wood. Number 6, moth. Number 7, spoon. And number 8, took. Okay, great job. Make sure though that you turn that in, but you've got other assignments also to turn in, so you may not be able to turn that in until all the other assignments are done too, okay? All right, so let's change some words. Let's change some words. So what letter do I have there? We have the letter N. Good. The letter N. What letter is that? U. So now do we have N? And if I add a T to it, what word do I have? Nut. Great. Well, if I took the N off and added SH to it, what word do I have? Shut, right? Great. What if I add an O in there? Ah, there's that owl sound. So what word is this? Out. Shout, right? Great. All right. What if I take the sh off? What am I left with? Out. Awesome. Well, what if I add a letter and change the ending? So I've still got ow, and I've got ouch, ouch, right? What if I add a letter to the beginning now? P, ouch. Great. Well, let's change our owl sound to an oo sound. So now we have what? P-oo-ch, pooch. Great. Well, let's change the beginning sound to an M, and now we have m-ooch. Awesome. What if I add an S in front of that mooch? Now we have what? Smooch. Great job. All right, so let's chain words again. Let's start with this word, soon. All right, soon. Let's change the beginning sound to an M, and we have what? Moon. Awesome, awesome. All right, we're going to change the middle sound to an E. What word do we have now? It's a short E, so it has the eh sound. So we have men. Good. But what if I add a letter to the end of this word? Oh, never mind. We skipped that word. This word is what? It's got the owl sound. So let's start at the beginning. M-ow-n-d. Mound. Awesome. So from mound, we're going to change the M to an S, and now we have a new word of sound. Awesome job. And we change that S to a P, and we have pound. And if we change the P to an R, we have round. Up, and one more. We made it into found. Great job, guys. You did amazing with that. So now we're in our tricky word portion of our lesson. And remember, all year long, we're going to learn tricky words. Tricky words are words that do not play by the rules. So let's learn a new tricky word. The word right here. How would you pronounce it if you were blending this word? If it were not a tricky word, how would you blend it? So remember, blending, down, down. Okay. So we pronounce this word as down. You hear the OW that makes the ow sound. Almost sounds like an OU sound, right? And the sentence is, she is walking down the stairs. Now the D is pronounced duh, as you would expect, but the letters O and W tell you guys that this is the tricky part of the word. They work together to stand for the ow sound, which is the OU sound. The N is also pronounced N, so as you would expect. So it's there too. So when reading down, remember to pronounce the letters O and W as ow, all right? And when you write the word, make sure to remember to spell the ow sound with the O and the W. The word is down. So let's think of some tricky words that we have learned so far. I'm going to say a word, and I want to see if you can hold up the card that matches that word. All right, so let's see here. You don't have these words, but let's think about some of our tricky words that we've done so far. We've done our W words like the when and why, right? We've done do and so and are, right? We've done where and were and why. We've done to and the number 2. Great job, guys. So we've done several words. So we've already learned about different parts of speech. We've learned common nouns like boy, girl, dog, cat. We've learned proper nouns like Miss Nicholson, Miss Ray. And we talked about verbs yesterday. And verbs show an action. They're action words. So verb is an action word. Actions are things that you can do, like run, jump, and read. So let's find the verbs in the following phrases. What's the verb in this phrase? Run up the hill. It's run. Great job. What about mop the room? It's mop. Awesome. What about cook good food? Cook. Awesome job. What about look it up? Look. Great job. Shake his hand. Shake. Great. What about pet the dog? Pet. Awesome. All right. So let's look at our worksheet 10.2. All right, on 10.2, the directions are over here on the side, and I'm going to raise it up a little bit so I can read it. It says, have students underline the verb with a squiggly line and then copy them on the lines. Okay, so you have to underline the verb and then write it on the lines. And then it says, have students copy their favorite phrase on the line beneath the box and illustrate it. So after you have found the verb up here in the sentence and you've underlined it and written it on the lines over here, you pick one of those, write it on that bottom line, and illustrate it. Okay? And those are all great ones to illustrate. Okay. So I'm going to move it on up because we'll need this other sheet here in a second. So, okay. So we're going to reread The Dog and the Mule. Today we are reading the story The Dog and the Mule. It is about a dog and a mule who live together. What types of words would you use to describe a dog? Well, if I'm thinking of my dog, he likes loving, he likes to lay on you, likes to give you kisses, probably likes to shake hands, very sweet and loving, right? Or guards you, protects you. Okay. What types of words would you use to describe a mule? Well, mules, you think of they're outside, right? In an area, like in a fenced in area, but they work, right? They're like a horse, so you can ride them or you can pet them, but you couldn't have them sit beside you on a couch and love on you, could you? No, it's two different animals, but this was a hardworking animal. So let's look at some spellings. We have the owl spelling, as in shout and out. And then we have our tricky words, who, would, and down. Our vocabulary, pen, not the type of ink pen that you write with. This is a pen, it's a fenced in area. So our purpose for reading is we're going to read to find out how life is different for the dog and the mule and what moral we can learn from today's story. Remember, the moral is the lesson. All right, before we get there, let's go to our story. The Dog and the Mule. Once there was a man who had a dog and a mule. The man gave the dog scraps of food from his plate. He let the dog lick his spoon. The dog would sit on the man's lap and lick him. The man would rub the dog and kiss him. There's the dog loving on the man. Okay. The mule would look in and see the dog on the man's lap. He felt sad. He felt left out. The man feeds him, said the mule, but I do not get food from his plate. I'm left out because I'm a mule. I should act like a dog. If I do that, the man will like me just as much as he likes the dog. Now, do you think if that mule comes in and does those same things, is that man going to treat him differently? It's a good question. There's the mule. He's thinking about it. So the mule left his pen and went in the man's home. He set his feet on the man's lap and gave the man a big wet lick. The man was scared. He gave a shout and let his plate drop. It broke with a crash. The man fell down too. When the man got up, he was mad at the mule. He made the mule run back out to his pen. Look. Okay, so let's go to our 10.3 worksheets. Okay, now here, this is a little different than what we're normally used to. So the directions say, have students cut out the events from the story, The Dog and the Mule. Tell them to look back into the reader to find the correct order of events. Well, you can't look back at the reader, you just have to scroll back in the video. They will then tape or glue the events in the right order on the next page. So if you notice here, you have 1, 2, 3, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things here. And on the next page, there are 5 blank ones over here, okay? You have to take these back here and put them in order on the other sheet. Sequential order, okay? So let's take a look at those. Okay. The mule gave the man a big lick and set his feet on the man's lap. The next one, the man let the dog lick him and his spoon. The man would rub the dog and kiss him. The man was scared. He made the mule run back out to his pen. The mule felt left out. The mule said, I should act like a dog. The man had a dog and a mule. So you need to think about what happens first in this story. Which one of those would you put first? I'm thinking I would probably put a man had a dog and a mule, right? Okay, that's the first one. But then I want you to do the other 4 on your own. All right, I gave you the first one. A man had a dog and a mule. Okay, so then you have to do the others. Okay. All right. So our learning targets, I can complete my spelling assessment. I can chain words with the ow sound. I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story, the dog and the mule. All right. Stop sharing there. All right, friends, that is the end of our lesson, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Bye.